Salmon, a.k.a. Diz, and this is the Force Always.
Welcome once again to this part of the world, and I am here to tell you the Star Wars news. Star Wars news, views, reviews, interviews, weekly. Anyway, let's get on with the Star Wars news. Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker, tweets overnight, actually, in this past 24 hours, that October 9, Monday Night Football in America will be something to watch out for. He didn't say specifically what, but we could be getting the actual The Last Jedi trailer. Whether that's trailer 2, teaser 2, trailer 1, whatever you want to call it. October 9. Just watch out online, and if you're in America or have access to the American coverage of Monday Night Football, watch out for that. Last Jedi trailer, October 9. To more news. To JJ or not to JJ? That is the question. It's a big question online this week. Do you want J.J. Abrams for episode 9? Or do you not want him for episode 9? That is a referendum online at the moment. That's just some news, just to let you know. To more news. Early viewings of The Last Jedi have been shown to a certain few. Which certain few, I don't know. But it has been taken on as good and different. That's The Last Jedi. That's episode 8. It has been seen as good and different. Which says to me, we're going to be in for something that is good and different. That's some news. Some more news. Mark Hamill, boy, he's been rocking some tweets this week. Mark Hamill has said the Canto Bight set in episode 8, The Last Jedi, was amazing. The puppeteering, the puppets, and the hundreds of extras, he said it was amazing. It could fund a number of small independent movies. He said it was amazing though. So watch out for that Canto Bight, which Canto Bight is the city that we're going to be centered on in episode 8, which is about sort of casino, sort of rich people feel, and there's a planet. It's a new planet that we're not used to, so check this out for episode 8, The Last Jedi. Mark Hamill was saying that it is amazing with the puppets, puppeteering, and the hundreds of extras. To more news. Porgs, that's right, the Porgs, famous Porgs, but that we're really yet to get impact from, because The Last Jedi is not out yet, but Porgs are officially a sea animal. That's right, sea animal. And they're inquisitive, and they're male and female. So Porgs, male and female, inquisitive, and they're a sea animal. That's some news this week with Star Wars. Let's move on to the views. Views is going to be about Rey and Kylo Ren having a romance in episode 8, or possibly episode 9. Episode 8 being The Last Jedi. Will there be a Rey and Kylo romance? Rian Johnson has stated there's no predominant romance in the episode 8 Last Jedi film, which kills the whole Kylo Ren and Rey getting together. But there could be maybe inklings of it. I don't know. But my view is, and views is about my story ideas, not predictions. My view is that unless it starts off sinister and it ends up in a turnaround for good event in episode 9, don't do it at all. It would be just like serving the fans and that's it. You want it to have a setup quality about it. So if Kylo Ren was to force himself on Rey just to have a child, so he can then, push the dark forces within that child, even though that's a crazy idea, it would work as an emotional setup for Episode 9 and a great story idea. Not making light at forcing a man on a woman, but it would be a great story idea where something bad turns into something good. And how I mean is that in Episode 9, after that Kylo and Rey would have a baby, and then Rey would then nurture this baby into the world or worlds, and be brought up in a good way. But it would be a really nice idea. It would be also a way of continuing the Skywalker name. Technically, it would be lineage from the Skywalkers, but technically it would be a solo. But you would need to set this story up with such a sinister way of coming together, then the pursuit of good would begin. But as Rian Johnson has said, there's no predominant romance in Episode 8, The Last Jedi. That's the views for this time around. Let's get into the reviews. The reviews is the up and coming Last Jedi trailer. Trailer 1, Trailer 2, Teaser 1, Teaser 2, whatever this is that we've been really waiting a long time for, which I actually appreciate for two reasons. I was at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando 2017, and I thought it was great to witness that trailer amongst the fans and the executives of Star Wars. It was just a memory I'll never forget. So to save that memory for me is personally a great thing. And to sort of starve the fans of a trailer or teasers is good. It just creates Episode 8, The Last Jedi, to be more interesting when we see it. I'm just wishing to God, whatever God that is, that we don't get these annoying TV spots inundated in that last week. That's what I'm wishing. Save some money, Lucasfilm, and don't do all those TV spots. Make posters or stuff like that. Save your money on TV spots. The fans are not with it. They can be annoying to the commercial cinema goers. But yeah, so the review this week for the trailer is also included that it needs to have Yoda. If Yoda's in this film, which we're all assuming he is, if the actual trailer at the end showed a glimpse of Yoda just saying a word, oh my goodness, meltdown, internet will happen amongst Star Wars fans. Also some commercial fans, but that's what would happen. So the starving of having no trailer is great. The length of time since the last trailer is in overtime, but I appreciate that. But the trailer does need to have Yoda, or maybe a surprise other character that we're used to at the end of the trailer. It's all about the end of this trailer, what happens in that last snippet. And I'm saying Yoda would be great. Anyway, so that's my review. It's a sort of a preview again of a review, but that would be a 10 out of 10. If Yoda was in it, and it will be in the month of October, that would be great. Interviews. Should JJ use nostalgia or original ideas in Episode 9? As there's a referendum online at the moment to petition that he should not be on for Episode 9, I think that Star Wars fans really need to get the idea that Star Wars is a cycle of stories. The 1, 2, and 3. Whether that's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. So in 9, as J.J. Abrams coming back, there should be nostalgia. There should be things that are rehashed. It's just Star Wars. You want it to have that Star Wars feel. The difference between JJ's episode 1, which was technically episode 7, but that's his episode 1, and George Lucas going back in the past to episode 1 in the prequels, is those sets. JJ chose that 80s retro look. George gave a brand new look to the whole Star Wars feel. Almost a very Roman feel to it in parts. He was a risk taker, I thought, George, in this instance. JJ played it safe, but he also played it in a way that it did look good. So, to have nostalgia is definitely an ingredient, but also to have original conclusion ideas is going to be important as well. So that's my answer. Should there be nostalgia or original ideas for episode 9 by JJ? Both. It's Star Wars. It's life. It's movies. My next question is a completely different type of question. Will Disney sell Star Wars? Lucasfilm. If it was me, I'd never sell Star Wars. I'd just keep rocking Star Wars, as us hardcore Star Wars fans do for these many decades so far. But Disney, I think, have a plan. This is only speculation on my behalf. It's nothing that I found out on. It's just my speculation. I think they have a 10-year plan, and in that 10 years, they'll see how things go. I think they'll sort of evaluate in audience reaction and how strong the franchise has become since they bought it, and they possibly could sell it. But how could they sell it? I think the most extreme, important point would be a Darth Vader standalone film. Let's say they wanted to sell it and they have not done a Darth Vader standalone film. They could sell whoever they're selling it to that this could be a really good way of rebooting the whole Star Wars thing again. Not rebooting episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but just sort of rejuvenating Star Wars again by having a Darth Vader standalone film. And if no one wants to buy it, then for themselves, to have a Darth Vader standalone film would be massive. It'd be probably as iconic as the very first time we saw Star Wars on any screen. That's how big it would be. But it would have to be done right. And unfortunately, for it to be done right, a Darth Vader standalone film, it has to be almost the #1 evil Hollywood film ever, in a roundabout way of speaking. So will Disney sell? I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't, but that's how you'd sell it. Is a Darth Vader standalone film, either selling it to the person or the group or whoever it is who wants to buy it with rejuvenating the franchise, or if they don't want it or people don't want it, then to do it for yourself would make you a lot of money. Anyway, so that's my interviews. That's a 2Q interview. 2Q. That was 2 questions asking myself for you guys out there. So anyway, subscribe to this channel, The Force Always, only on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram at The Force Always, or Twitter at David Zammit. That's Instagram at The Force Always, or Twitter at David Zammit. Send me your comments. Why not? And until next time, keep rockin'.